This video is sponsored by Potan Store, Channel Fireball, Pokemon Card.io, and Card Market. Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new day here. Today we're going to be playing with Suicune Ludicolo. Suicune did win the Pokemon Online Global Tournament a few weeks ago and it has continued doing really well. And let me share with you why. So Suicune V obviously 210 HP with K-Pop Toughness goes all the way up to 260. And the ability Fleet-Footed gets you an extra card each turn. Not bad at all, right? Not bad by any means. Just drawing that extra card, sometimes it can save you. Other times it can be relevant, but it's never a bad thing to have an extra resource to utilize when you're trying to win a game. And the Blizzard Rondo attack does 20 damage plus 20 more damage for ranged bench Pokemon. So obviously you want a big bench because you want to set up loadouts for Ludicolo's ability to do 100 extra damage if you can pull that off. And you also want multiple drizzles or sobbles and drizzles so you can search for what you need when you need it. So immediately you benefit from having a full bench, right? But most decks are also playing Inteleon, these big heavy benches. There's like every deck is either playing a heavy bench support such as Sylveon, for example, fills up their bench pretty quickly with all the different typings, or most decks are using Inteleon as backup. So I do really like the possibility to do a ton of damage with Suicune, and you are able to use this V to 2-hit KO 3-price Pokemon. So you 2-hit KO them, and if they 2-hit KO you, then you actually win that price trade every time, right? So that's one of the benefits of Suicune. And it also gets to utilize the full consistency of the Inteleon line, and also gets to use Ludicolo's ability Enthusiastic Dance, where when you play this Pokemon to evolve one of your basic Pokemon, during this turn you can have your basic Pokemon do 100 more damage. Now this is really impactful, because with full benches on both sides of the field, or almost full, and with quick shooting placing extra damage counters, you can actually one-hit KO a VMAX here and there. So that's actually really good. Now we have Raihan and Melanie to support with the energy attachments. We have Research and Marnie to help with the draw, and then we have a ton of Pokemon Search. We have our rare candies, we have our Echoing Horn, which can be pretty useful to help with the mats. It's essentially a plus 20 damage for Suicune, which is really good. And we have Scoop Up Nets to recycle Ludicolos or Drizzles. We have the maximum consistency of the 4 capture energies, and we have Pockets to search for the, even though it's a lower count of the energies, we do recover energies with Melody and Raihan. So it should be pretty fine. Overall, this deck has a ton of options, has Escape Rope. The one thing it doesn't have is stadiums and switching cards, right? That's the big thing that's missing, I would say, from this deck. But it's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Like, as long as you plan properly for that sort of thing, you apply so much pressure that going boss to stall will rarely be an issue, and you do have Scoop Up Nets. Alright, we do want to go first. We had a pretty solid hand. We wish we had a Sobble, right? Definitely wish we had a Sobble down, but going first and threatening pressure off of the Suicune is really good. My hand is dead, so that's why I'm thinning with the bucket, and I'm gonna go Fleet-Footed. A quick ball would be fantastic, though that's not what we get. So hopefully next turn. We can still Fleet-Footed next turn, plus our top deck, so we're getting 2 extra cards each turn. Hopefully we can find something good off of that. That helps us fill up our bench and apply more pressure that way. We could also end up getting Marnied. There we go. Now the Crystal Cave does indicate immediately a Zacian deck, so that should be fine. They don't fill up their bench too much, so that's where Ludicolo might actually be a big difference. These would have been the next cards I would have drawn with Fleet-Footed, so I'm actually glad, I guess, that we got Marnied, because we definitely wouldn't have drawn anything good, really. So if my opponent doesn't bench anything, I was gonna say they're probably not threatened to be KO'd. but benching something is obviously safer. The discard of the energy means they have a metal saucer and an attachment, most likely. Or not, wow. So what 3 cards could be more valuable than getting an attachment on your Zacian? I reckon. I actually don't know. Okay, I know the bottom cards of my deck are not useful, so that's why I'm not gonna shuffle with the instance. I'm just gonna go ahead and fleet-footed and be in a lot of trouble. What the heck? How have I not drawn quick balls, level balls, a capture energy, a Marnie, a research? Right. Not great, that's for sure. We're gonna see a boss onto the low tab. So playing very defensively as well. And now we can't even fleet-foot it, so that's actually quite sad. Getting an energy would be amazing. I would happily go for a call for family here. For a double sobble. So my opponent playing that Crobat down, having the Ranguru, having the Zacian. Bench is starting to fill up a little. Hopefully I top deck something by now though. I'm not gonna shuffle my deck because then I have a much higher chance of actually pulling something from the top. Okay, there we go. I mean, this is sort of useful, I would say. I'll go ahead and establish another Lotad, and then call for family gives me 2, right? Yeah, for 2 drizzles, I would say. I think that's pretty solid. To make it so that I have a decent chance at pulling off the Ludicolo play, perhaps, next turn, we'll see. The issue is I don't have energy. That is the biggest issue right here. So if my opponent goes boss KO my Suicune, then I can Raihan and potentially return KO. I mean, can I do 270, 280, 180? Probably not actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 120. 4160. Okay, we do get Marnie, so we're not getting bosses ordered. Alright, we get a capture, we get a drizzle, we get an incense, and we see a pass. Okay. So definitely gonna take the initiative right here, I would say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm doing 160 damage. I still think getting the initiative against the Zacian would be a good idea though. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't do that. I could also just attack the Crobat. That also seems pretty good. Because it messes up a little bit the retreat. Keeps the Ludicolo option available. Yeah, I actually kind of like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Then I'm gonna go fleet-footed. Should have done this first, actually. Oof, definitely should have done that. Well, it's fine. Okay, then I'll go ahead and do this. Grab myself another drizzle. No, I'm gonna grab the Lombre, actually. And I have the recovery. 160. Should be okay. Should be okay. I'm okay doing 260 as well in the Zacian. Well, I mean, ideally, I get the... I mean, getting both seems pretty difficult, though. Yeah, maybe I messed up. Okay. So, they didn't bench anything. So I do need a lot here. I do in fact need a lot. It's possible, unlikely. This doesn't get me there. Right. But does both of these get me there? No, I'm one Pokemon short. Yeah, I am one Pokemon short on pulling this off. Okay. So I've already attached. I reckon then I save this guy. Could scoop up net the drizzle and get what? Cape of Toughness. Definitely want to get Cape of Toughness. And I'll keep this Inteleon for the next turn. Let me grab the cape. And fleet-footed. That wouldn't have done it either. Would have saved me this scoop up net, I guess. Should be fine. Right, so they do heal. That's okay. So that Crobat is like, even though it's not dead, it is 2 prizes. Interesting retreat right there. So now I can just go evolve into Inteleon. Nice use of Metal Saucer. Get another boss, take down the Zacian. Or they can just switch, right? That works too. Well, no, if they had, so they did this all wrong. If they had the switch, they wouldn't have retreated, right? If they could get switched, they should have played Rotom Phone first. Because if they saw a switch, then they could have saved the energies and they could have attached there. What a weird sequence of turn. Yeah, or maybe if they had benched the Zacian, if they had used, I'm guessing they got the Zacian off the phone, so if they grabbed Zacian first, they would have had, well, I guess they didn't have energy in the discard pile. Never mind. Confusing turn. Very confusing turn. And they simply Intrepid Sword. Okay. That works out okay. So then, there's the Ludicolo. Go ahead and drizzle for the boss. And we'll target you. We'll go ahead and fleet-footed. Okay, I do get the Inteleon, that's actually pretty great. No point in putting the damage on this guy because then it just gets healed. So I'll take my 2 prize cards right here, very nice. Get another cape, which is fantastic. And then we'll just take the knockouts. Very nice. Very nice, very straightforward. My opponent is also down. My opponent is down to 3 saucers, rather. So finding the last one shouldn't be easy. Never mind, they just have all 4 saucers in their hand. That makes sense. Never mind. So benching Zamazenta doesn't make any sense at all. Like, literally my opponent drew it and benched it. If it's not a good attacker, you're out of saucers. Like, why on earth would you ever bench that Zamazenta? I have no clue. I really have no clue why you would do that. But now we do get the knockout, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's a knockout. I would like to do 100 more damage. I will do the quick shooting, and yeah. Why would you bench this Amazenta? I mean, I had the Inteleon to search for the Echoing Corn, so I had the win anyways. But it felt like my opponent just gave up right there. Felt like my opponent just gave up right there. I don't know, weird sequencing that previous turn. Definitely weird sequencing, I think. I don't know. Without knowing exactly what's in my opponent's hand, it's hard to say. All right. So we win the coin flip yet again. That's good. Hopefully we don't get slower turns like we did in the previous game. This is really good. Getting a water in the discard pile early on is pretty nice. Getting Sobbles down is also pretty nice. And we seem to be up against the same Zacian deck back to back. So, battle of the basic decks. However, on paper, Suicune should have the advantage because of Ludicolo, right? Wow, that top deck is just incredible. So let me go ahead and get my Sobble here. That top deck is actually pretty fantastic. Then we'll go ahead and Capacious Pocket. I did prize a loaded, so that's something to keep in mind. That is definitely something important to keep in mind. We have this, we have this. Okay, so now that I've finished doing stuff, I reckon I absolutely should have used Fleet-footed first, yeah, even before playing the capture energy, because then if I drew a basic, that's really good, right? But by playing the capture, playing the quick ball, I actually thinned my deck from those resources. So that was a slight mistake for sure. Slight mistake for sure. Well, not slight mistake. That was a mistake, yeah, on my part, on not thinking out the sequencing and planning everything out. Yeah, I went into slight automatic pilot of these are good cards, I'm gonna play them, but I didn't really figure out exactly what I wanted to do and when I wanted to do it. Okay, so now I have two options. I could aggressively target down the Zacian, or I can just damage this Amazenta and try to establish a slightly better board. I think I like the slightly better board. One instance, I did prize the Shady Dealings and Inteleon, that's important to note. So I'm gonna grab a cape off of this, Shady Dealings, and then with the other one, with the other Shady Dealings, I'm actually going to grab a level ball, no, a quick ball, but what do I discard? What's my discard if I grab the quick ball? I think it's better to grab the level ball then, because all the cards I have right now are actually quite valuable. And I'll establish the loaded now, keep that as a threat, and we'll go ahead and Marnie away my opponent's huge hand. Hopefully that keeps this Amazenta locked in the active. I even get this Sobble anyways, but I don't get anything else, literally nothing else. Well, never mind, that's something. That is literally the one card I'm missing to get the one shot on the Zacian. So, really good. Really good, really lucky to draw that, since I do believe the other rare candy went to the bottom of the deck. So what I need is my opponent to not have Tool Scrapper. My opponent has Tool Scrapper, I'm actually in a lot of trouble right here. So there's a switch. If they Marnie me, that also sucks. But they research, okay. Yeah, they discard the Amazenta, which makes all the sense in the world. I don't imagine they're gonna bench on their Zacian. They just Brave Blade, perfect. Okay, so we have return knockout. This Amazenta is already damaged. Can be bosses ordered. Okay, so let's go fleet-footed first. This is like this is really lucky for me to pull this off without without searching for any of the pieces or playing a draw supporter. This is honestly me getting very, very lucky at this stage. Blizzard Rondo for 260 KO. Alright, pretty solid. Yeah, we'll take it. Lotad, and there we go. Yeah, I didn't expect them to have return KO or return attack. After that, they would have needed Dull Saucer attachment, which is possible, right? We've seen it plenty of times in this channel. But yeah, Suicune, pretty solid deck, pretty powerful deck. Definitely recommend playing with it. Shouldn't be too expensive either, right? I imagine Suicunes are just going up in value every day, but it's just a really good card, right? It generally is simply a really good card. I would love to have the 2-2. You know, I feel like 2-2 Inteleon is my good middle ground. My good middle ground for consistency plus usability. Most people prefer 3-1. Obviously the extra damage is pretty useful, but HPs are so high that sometimes 20 damage is actually not that impactful, right? Especially because it's not coming out until turn 3 most of the time. But anyways, thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to leave a like, really helps out the channel. Let me know if you notice any freezing. I think I finally figured out how to have everything not freeze at all, but if you notice it, please let me know in the comments when you notice it, put the timestamp so I can look into it. Thank you so much, and until next time, bye bye.